Rookie mistake. Forgot to add us to the stage. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, the only place to be for the pre-match pump-up. And it is Champions League tonight and Spurs at home in the presence of Sonny taking on Slavia Prague. I've got my normal Jimbo back with me today, and we've also got the wonderful winner of the Best Young Content Creator Award, Harry Scarf, with us as well. Jimbo, how are you doing first of all?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was just laughing at Harry. Couldn't get his sound on, and we was calling him Toss Barton. and then he heard us. Sorry. Just made me laugh. Are you all right, Kate, or are you frozen?
That was a real rookie mistake. I was going, we could call him anything we like. He can't hear us. Oh, hang on.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
what's happened? What's happened, Harry? She's left us.
Okay. You keeping well though, Jimbo?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. Yeah, good. And you?
Yeah, no, all good, thank you. I don't know about you, but looking forward to the game. I'm feeling quite pumped up. Or a pump up. Time to be positive, I think. Get behind Frank, get behind the team.
And Sonny's coming out just before the players. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, 100%. Should be more people inside the stadium as well as on there. Right, Kate?
Yeah.
Am I back?
You are back.
Bloody computers. Good. I'm glad. I hope you're well, Harry. I'm sure you are. So, yeah. Before we start, welcome to everyone whoever is here and wherever you're watching all over the world. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the OG of We Are Tottenham TV, the biggest Spurs channel that there is. Harry, I'm going to start with you, obviously, because I don't live with you. So I don't know your opinions on things. But Brentford, a much-needed home win. What I believe to be a very good performance. What did you make of the game midweek? Was it midweek?
Weekend,
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday. Yeah. What did you make of the game at the weekend?
Firstly, you're absolutely right to get confused. I mean, not only is it 2 games a week at the moment, it was a double Premier League game week last week. So just trying to put a schedule together for my Funhouse team that I point, just trying to get myself confused, tied in knots, really. I mean, a bit like the Spurs defence in recent weeks, but not this game because it was a better performance. It go a little nicely there. But no, it was better from Tottenham. It's what we want to see. I think, the last week, I would say, is something for Frank and the players to really build on. It's something for the fans to get behind. And people go, what, one game? It's a little bit more than that. To come back firstly twice from behind at St James's Park against Newcastle, that takes guts, it takes resilience, it takes team spirit to go. It's a good result before ball's kicked, Kate. It's an even better result when you go 2 goals. Well, when you go behind twice is a better way of putting it. But Brentford was a better performance. It's a win. It is worth noting that Brentford don't travel well. We can only beat what's in front of you, and that's been a struggle for Tottenham of late. And we got the job done, and we done it well. And the scoreline doesn't reflect the game because we should have won by more, in my view. Mm-hmm. We saw some really significant things happen in that game. Xavi Simmons' goal and assist, I do think he's kick-started his Tottenham career. And I do think Tottenham have turned a corner. I'm not going to say all of a sudden we're going to win the league or, it's a win every game now. We're going to be unbeaten for the rest of the season. It's nothing like that. I think that we have turned a corner a little bit. I think we will improve from now and show a little bit more creativity, a little bit more flair going forward. And Richarlison scoring again. I mean, I've never thought I'd even use the word consistent Richarlison in the same sentence, but it has to be a conversation now because he's doing okay. I think 6 goals this season in the league. So, some good stuff from Richarlison. So, really happy with the team. Again, Brentford didn't really lay a glove on us too much. And, it's easy to get carried away. I get that. But I think this is just a reminder that we've got to get behind Frank, got to get behind the team. Okay, I'm happy and I see no reason to grumble at the moment. Of course, today has to be a win. There's no secret about that. It's a important game in terms of Dortmund in the Champions League, and we want to make sure we at least get minimum playoffs, and that can be all but secured pretty much titonight if we get a win. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. How many games left is there in the Champions League?
3.
Yeah. Where are we in the table?
We're 16th place. We've got 8 points. We've got Slavia Prague tonight. Then we're home to Dortmund and away. Home to Dortmund and away to Frankfurt, I believe.
Right. So if we win tonight, where does it take us? Whereabouts roughly in the table?
I think it takes us right breathing down the necks of the top 8. I think. But obviously, it all depends on other results. But if we can get 2 wins, maybe even 3 wins, we've got a good chance of automatic qualification. But we've got to just obviously, like we say, take it one game at a time. But Jim, I think
it's top 24, right? Go through.
Top 8, yeah, automatically go through, and then the other 16 playoffs, yeah. So, Jimbo, obviously we spoke about Brentford, and we said it's not just a case that we've got to win it. There's got to be a real performance against Brentford, and I think we got it. What did you make of it?
Well, we had Gooners telling us that it's a frightening game for us, that they give them a good game. And like Gooners telling me we were going to lose to them. And I just think that it was a walk in the park. I don't think we looked in danger at any time during that game. In the first 5 minutes, Thiago had a shot, which it would have had to have been some shot to score from where he was. And that was about it, really. So I thought that they played so well. For me, I said to you straight away after the game, Kate, it was for me the best game I've seen under Frank. Who's that? Who looks like a younger Gareth Bale. Yeah, I just thought they were so together. Mm-hmm. Everything flowed so well. They moved forward quick. They were moving the ball quick. They were tracking back and helping the defenders. I mean, Xavi's goal, lost the ball, got straight up, fought to get it back, and went up and scored. And he just looks. He looks. I said to you, Kate, didn't I? Even before they kicked off, that he looks like he's stocky. He looks like he's got on a little bit of muscle, and he looks stronger. He just looks like his shoulders are wider. He looks fit, and he acted on the pitch like he's a lot fitter. So when people say about he was kept out, maybe he was kept out for a good reason. You know, they had him in the gym working on him, and it's going to pay off, hopefully. Look, I said when we bought Xavi that I would have took Xavi over Eze. Right? One thing is I think he's going to be a better player than Eze, and he's younger than Eze. I think that we got the better deal at the 2 players, and I think that over the next season, rest of this season, we're going to see that.
Yeah, we have to give it a bit of time before we find out the answer to that question, but... what did I? Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. Doggy has obviously been ruled out now till the new year. Harry, obviously, Frank's going to have to be careful with our fullbacks now. I put down my predicted 11, and I've got him putting Spence on the right and putting Davis on the left tonight, and letting Porro have a rest, because obviously he's got to be careful that he doesn't overplay and get more injuries. Do you think there's a chance that he does? I mean, he's got the opportunity of playing Davis or Gray or even Van der Ven on the left if he wanted to, but I've got him resting Van der Ven tonight and putting Danso in and resting Porro. What are you thinking?
If I'm honest, it makes me angry that we're even in this situation, Kate, of a club like Tottenham Hotspur, and we're going, look, let's twiddle our thumbs and who's going to play out of position, square pegs in round holes. It's just incredibly frustrating. It's a failure of the club. It's a failure of leadership. It's just honestly catastrophic and unforgivable on every level. And this is not being dramatic, right? If you don't replace someone who's there tonight in person of the legacy of Son, then there's something fundamentally wrong. If Liverpool... The whole situation is going on with Salah, right? I'm not going to get into all of that. But what I will say is when Salah leaves, make no mistake about it, they will replace him, and they will replace him well. We're not going to let him leave. And even if they did, it'd make a little bit more sense than when we done it, because they've got the quality on both flanks, by the way, both wings, to come in, step in and do a good job until they sign someone. But Tottenham literally signed no one. We went, all out for Savinho, nothing apart from that. No plan B, no plan C, none of that. So for me, complete failure on that side. And it also links to the left-back position. I mean, I'm sorry, but, as far as I'm concerned, we went into it and people disagree, and I know why, with one left-back in a doggy. I'm sorry, Davis is great to have as what I call an emergency player, emergency cover, but realistically, we shouldn't be relying on him for his sake as well. He was stepping in and doing a job. Jed Spence, for me, is a right-back. He's proven that in recent games. He limits us going forward on the left-hand side. He's good good 1v1, but he's not a left back. He's done very well up until now. It's taken us a long while to realise that, and that's real credit to him. He's been great. He's a right back. That's his bread and butter. Same with Pedro Porro. So to go into the season with just a doggy, if you want to say Davis, fine, a doggy and Davis then. I mean, that's not a good idea. You know, Van der Ven's a centre-back. Archie Gray's a midfielder. Let's not pretend any other way. Same with Paulinho, they're a midfielder. I get you have to play players that position. They're paid enough in emergency situations, but this is a bi-weekly thing for Tottenham. Who's going to play here, who's going to play there, and that's just so small club mentality. And then we twiddle our thumbs and go, why aren't we doing this? And why are Arsenal running away from us? For me, it's no coincidence. It's the PR stunts from upstairs. It's the same false promises, same excuses. It's the same people. Nothing will change. I don't want to get necessarily a big rant about the owners, but the point is, this is on them. I don't like to blame injuries, Kate, because it's going to happen. For a doggie's sake, it's concerning. 4 hamstring injuries since joining the club. That's really concerning. Really, honestly, so bad. And we have to look into that, yes. But why put ourselves in this situation? We knew, didn't we? We said it at the start of the season as Spurs fans. Yeah, if a doggy gets injured or if Spence gets injured, what are we going to do? Well, actually, it's finally, happened. And the club absolutely deserving to pay the price of that, unfortunately. So, failure of leadership upstairs. Poor.
This is a pump up or pump down?
No, we're just making a point. We're making a point.
Sorry.
You can look on the other side of the coin as well, right? You can look on the other side of the coin as well, right? They went all out to get Savinho. They never got him. So we ended up not getting no one, which was, you're right, it's a bit of a disaster. But I think that we need to give the hierarchy time. Levy's gone. Right, we haven't had a window under them since Levy's been gone. So let's not slate them too much. Let's wait and see what they do the next window. That'll be their reckoning in the summer. So it all could change, Harry. So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt until the windows are over.
Absolutely, but why didn't it change in the summer? That's what I'd say. You're right. I think given January,
you got to remember, Levy was still here. He was still here. Right, and so it's all meant to be changing now.
He's been thrown under the bus, though, I think, by the owners. But you're right, we don't know. I shouldn't be judging until January, but I just think we know how it's going to go, so I'm already jumping the gun with that. I really
believe they tried to get Savinho. I think they went all out to get him, and Man City just played hardball. But look, we're as a club at the minute. We're not in a bad position. We're still in the Champions League. We've only lost to PSG, which is no shame, right? We're in the top half of the table, which is a massive improvement since last season. We're only I think it's 3 points off of 6, is it? 5th or 6th. So I just think that we need to give, instead of like killing everyone and slating everyone, we need to just give it a nice 6 months to a year with 2 windows and see where we are. It's a new era, a new manager, but new players coming in. Moani's starting to kick in now. Xavi's starting to kick in now. Kudus has kicked in. So I think for me, it's exciting times ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about my predicted 11, and then the team came out. So I don't need to. I'll just say that my predicted 11 is this 11, and no one will know whether I'm telling the truth or not. But this is the team to face Slavia Prague tonight. We've got Vicario in goal, Paulinho, Xavi, Richarlison, Gray, Romero, Kudus, Pedro Porro. See, I was completely wrong. Spence, Odegaard, and Van der Ven. So he hasn't left out Van der Ven. He hasn't left out Pedro Porro, but he's brought in Archie Gray. He's left out Moani. On the bench, we've got Kinski, Gunter, Danso, Tell, Bergvall, Sarr, Bentancur, Davis, Moani, Scala, Oluwesi, and Williams-Barnett. Jim, obviously, we mentioned it before we came on stream. They have brought Tell into the Champions League squad because of Solanke's long-term injury that was meant to be just a slight knock. I mean, do you think Tell can bring something to this Champions League campaign?
100%. 100%. Look, if it had been me, Kate, I would have left Odegaard out and I would have had Tell in from the beginning. But look, I mean, I'm looking at that team. Is Tell on the bench, is he?
Yes.
And Moano.
Yes.
So he's decided to give Odegaard a go. But yeah, I mean, look, of course he can bring something to it. He's had a few cameos and scored some good goals. So you know, he needs some playing time. 100%, he needs some playing time. So hopefully he get it.
Harry, what do you make of the time? When Jim says, "Oh, he's bought in Odegaard, he wouldn't have bought him in." I'm kind of glad to see Odegaard. I'm not going to lie. I'm quite interested to see what he can do. But what's you making of it?
Yeah, so am I. Come on, Jimbo. It's meant to be a pump up. I'm going to throw that back at you.
Yeah!
But no, Jimbo makes a good point. He makes good points with Tal. I think he can offer us something to the Champions League campaign. Sorry, I had to do that. But yeah, I'm happy to see. I think he could offer something, hopefully. I mean, Jimbo's going to be laughing and probably go, look, 2 fingers up to you when Odegaard does nothing. But I think it's good to see him start this game. And listen, I'm happy with the lineup. You know, Xavi Simmons has stayed in the lineup. You know, overall, it's really positive. And Frank hinted that there'd be rotation. I was thinking, oh, God, you know, why? You have to rotate and rest players. Look, especially in a game like this where, you know, Forest at the weekend and it's one of the easier games. No disrespect to Slavia Prague, so you have to be professional and thorough. But it's one of the easier games in the next 2 or 3, let's just say. But that's the thing. Frank said he doesn't know his best 11. And listen, as football fans, we know, and there's no experts, that when you don't know your best 11 and you put in a good performance and get a result, keep it the same. Don't fix something that's not broken. You know, Simmons does really well in that 10. Keep him there. Arsenal made this mistake recently with Eze. I don't like to use him as a comparison, but sometimes it is the best comparison out there. Eze was just starting to find some form in that number 10 role. Odegaard's come back in, and you know everyone's catered for him as Arsenal captain. So Eze's pushed out to the left-hand side. He was non-existent against Aston Villa. If they kept him in that 10, he would have impacted the game. For example, yeah, exactly. Put a bet on Odegaard to score. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, come on. You know, Odegaard's going to score now. But no, I'm happy with the team, Kate. I could go round and round the houses. But no, honestly, you know, really, really pleased. And I think it's enough to get the job done and hopefully have a good performance too.
Yeah, I don't. You know me. I don't really slag players down. It's not my style.
No, you don't.
I just don't think. I'm just not convinced by Odegaard at the minute. He hasn't really. I don't think he's shown enough, and I think Tell's shown really some glimpses of some good stuff. You know,
thing is with Odegaard, he hasn't had a constant run in the team. So I think
he looks a bit lost on the pitch, Kate, when we play him.
I personally think Odegaard looks better when he's playing alongside Udogie because I think they link up together really well. But look, we let him. You know, he's going to start Odegaard. If it's not working, I'm pretty sure that he will maybe bring on Tell and see what he can do. But look, anyone who knows me, which most people do because I've got a big mouth, knows that I'm not Richarlison's biggest fan. I'm probably very overly critical of the guy. But he's got 6 Premier League goals for the season, 7 in all competitions, including 1 in the Champions League. Jim is, I mean, it would be a little bit criminal to drop him at the minute.
You can't drop him. He's the one scoring the goals.
Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer Moani up front. I just prefer him as a player. But Richarlison is scoring. So how do you leave him out the team? You've got to keep playing him, right?
Someone said, I think it was on TalkSport, someone said that he scored 17 in his last 24. And I thought, shit, is that many?
Scary.
Well, I mean, really, maybe because sometimes he doesn't have great games, but maybe he gets unwarranted stick. But look, the other day he scored, right? Him and Xavi linked up well, but he played so well that game. He really put himself about, was backtracking. I go through spells with Richie. Sometimes I absolutely adore him and love the way he plays. And other times I think, what is he doing on the pitch? You know, he was on the floor. I mean, I was watching their training yesterday, right? And he was on the floor more in training than anything. He just loves the floor, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And one of the players, I think it was Moani, went to pick him up and then pushed him back down again and said, like, thinking like you belong there. But look, some games I love him, and other games he drives me up the wall. He's that type of player, though. You know, I mean, he is that type of player. Look, he's scoring the goals. He's our top scorer, so he needs to be in. It was the same as Johnson last year. People were moaning about Johnson, but he was putting the ball in the net, so you had to play him.
I mean, Harry, do you think it's about time we put a little bit more respect on Richarlison's name, or is this just a case of him having his usual little purple patch?
Oh, this conversation is something that we've had for so long now, isn't it?
I know.
We've been here for years. I know, just, and listen, I think I'd love to sit here and go, yes, he's turned the corner. This is the man that we can put our faith in. I think back Richarlison, why he wears the shirt, same with every other Spurs players. But of course, you need to be looking actively in the window. What more can you do? But at Tottenham, we have so many strikers. If you really think about it, the amount that we have is absolutely scary. I mean, I think we forget sometimes that, Tell naturally is a striker. You've got Dane Scarlett too, Moani, Richarlison, Solanke. The list is honestly huge. It's really, really big. So that's the thing. We have 5 strikers, I think, or 6 at the club, but have any got the quality to get any more than 15 goals a season, which you ideally want. Having said that, I know the goals will be distributed with Frank, but that for me has been a big thing, Kate. Brentford, negative net spend, Frank hoped under. And I often say that what Frank done at Brentford was exceptional, and I stand by that, and people don't see it. But I honestly think it is. It's slightly off topic, but it will come back round, I promise you. So mid-table in the Championship, to get them into the playoffs, then to get them promoted, then to keep them up in the Premier League, then to keep them stable, then top half, it would have only kept growing. For me, is really, really impressive. But although it was a negative net spend, you had players like Mbamo, Tony and Visser. Nobody's really, when Frank joined the club, he developed them. And I just think what he had and what Brentford still have to this day in Damsgaard is what we could have had in Maddison. Hear him go and speak perfectly, really, really well, represent Spurs, by the way, last night on Monday Night Football. And I just think, wow, what a difference he could make. So make no mistake about it. Maddison getting injured in the pre-season tour, was a big blow. It would have been our Damsgaard, our creativity. And I think as a result, Frank's looked at it and gone, crap, let's throw the early, kind of plans out the door. Let's retract and be defensive. And that's why we've seen the pressure on him. That's why some of the results haven't gone our way. That's why we've not looked great. It's why he's painted this defensive manager. That's only why. So that's, for me, absolutely huge. So that's, also as a striker, someone like Richarlison, you haven't got Maddison to feed off. I still think Solanke's best suited to the system. I stand by that, as much as I like Moani, because Frank's all about balls in the box. But Richarlison, I like. He's versatile. We can do better, but for now, good. But I just think for him to go to Everton, they really could do with a striker that gets them a few more goals. No, Barry got his first goal at the weekend, but they need someone that can bang in more goals. Richarlison could be that man for them potentially. So it depends what you're offered, Kate. If you said to me right now, 40 million for Richarlison, I'd be going, yeah, sorry, Richarlison. Thank you for what you've done, but we paid a lot for you. Goodbye. At the same time, if a 10, 15 million pound offer comes in, I think keep him.
Yeah,
do you know
I know what you're saying.
Someone just put in the chat that if he gets service, he'll score. And I agree with that. If you get that ball in the box, he will score goals.
That goal the other day, the long ball to Simmons, who then crossed it over to Richie, and Richie slammed it in the back of the net. That was I preferred that goal to the Simmons solo goal. I thought it was just such a good goal.
Yeah, it was a good team goal, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, really good team goal. And like you say, if they've got to get the service. And when I said I prefer Moani to Richie, I wasn't including Solanke. But look, I'm hearing a lot of people say things like this. Solanke never play for Spurs again. There's something
saying that, Kate.
There's something going on that we're not privy to, without any shadow of a doubt. There's something going on with Solanke, because there's a lot of people saying he'll never play for Spurs again. There's a lot of rumours. So it's a little bit concerning. But
I wonder why.
Well, it'll all come out in the wash, as they say, Jimbo. It'll all come out in the wash. But I want to just touch on Xavi. Obviously did a lovely goal at the weekend, a lovely assist at the weekend. And I would go as far as to say he was unplayable at times at the weekend. I thought he dictated most of what went well for Spurs. Do you think, Jimbo, for Xavi to really continue to improve, he needs to keep this run of games? Frank's got to keep playing him and just keep him getting used to the Premier League and persevering with him, even when he has games where he's not great. Just sort of
the two creative players we've got is Xavi and Kudos. So yeah, he needs to play, because who else is going to create for us? Madders is injured, so I mean. Xavi, he's a phenomenal player, Kate, and he was the talk of the town in Europe when he was younger. And I think, why's my phone going? Man, sharp.
I didn't think you had any friends.
Uh,
Maybe it's Solanke. He wants to clear up the rumours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a creative player, and he's we need him on the pitch, you know. But obviously, you can't overwork him.
Yeah. What about you, Harry? Do you think it's a case of just keep Xavi in the team and persevere? Because, like I say, if we can get that sort of performance out of him week in, week out, we've got ourselves a little diamond.
Absolutely. I think you keep him in the team when he's playing well. Same with people like Richarlison. The confidence is key in football. Don't really want to compare either of them because I think Xavi Simmons' ability and potential is through the roof, unfortunately, for Richarlison's case compared with him. But it's going to be unpopular, but I do agree with the decision to introduce him gradually. I think it's right that he hasn't started these games because when he has come on in such a Newcastle game, he's pushed off the ball and it's affecting the team in a negative way. It's totally normal, by the way. I'm not calling him out. When you come to the Premier League, a different system, new manager, it's going to take time to adapt. So I think you have to embed them carefully. Liverpool are for him first. Make no mistake about it. Come the end of the year, he'll be wherever Liverpool be in the table, will be carrying them forward, or having a big impact. It takes a while, it's a big position to play in that 10 role, and it is something, isn't it, from German players that play in that 10 role. It seems to take a lot longer, not necessarily for strikers. Voltemade, TK have hit the ground running, but number 10 is a little bit different. So I like Xavi Simmons. He has to stay in this team. For me, it's key that we don't put him on left wing, and there's been conversation about should he be on the left hand side, in particular before he had the performance cake against Brentford. But you look at Eze when he shifted to the left, and other players too, they're not the same on that left hand side. I get that it's similar. The idea as us fans makes sense, but I just don't think it works out. So keep Simmons in that 10 is key. Like Moani, I think don't play him on the left wing. That's just my fundamental opinion. But Xavi Simmons keeping the team wise before win. I think he is a gem, and I think he has turned a corner in his Spurs career. I love the fight. The fight's never been. He's always been there, 110%. But he's clearly, Frank said, been in the gym. So it's absolutely right that he hasn't been in the team so far because he has strengthened up. We all knew his ability, and him not being the team for 3-4 games in a row, I get it's frustrating for us fans, especially when there's no XG and they put 2 and 2 together. But at the same time, we didn't know to be the physicality, how big of an issue it was. Frank spoke about it quite openly and went, look, it's improved in the gym, which suggests it's the absolute right thing to do. So it's right that we haven't seen him a lot so far. Hopefully now we will see him. He's toughened up, which is right. It's good, and the ability's never been in question. So hopefully you can see that in practice, Kate, and hopefully a good performance from him tonight as well. Another, again, no disrespect to the opposition. Anything is possible. No game is easy. I'm one of those that do believe that. But it's a good opportunity for someone like Xavi Simmons, all jokes aside, but like we mentioned earlier, someone like an older Bergvall, if he comes off the bench, to really prove a point. They're all proving different points. Simmons is not proving his ability. He's proving that he's ready now. Odobert is different. He's proving, if he's right for Spurs or not, whether he's fit to wear the shirt, etc., whichever way you want to put it. Tell got a point to prove, been left out of the Champions League squad. I think Tell will come on and look really energetic, hopefully really positive. But keep him in the team, Simmons. Looks good. Very good performance.
Yeah, I agree. Tottenham Logic says a question for the panel. Which one of our injured players gets into our first team? I think Solanke gets in over Richarlison. Then you've got the question of Kulu or Madders. Do they come in and walk and put Simmons out of the team?
No, I mean, look, the thing is that the beauty of having Madders come back is you've got both of them, because it's a long season with a lot of games, right? And they're quite similar players. So it's nice if you've got one, you can rotate them, which is for me massive. And Kulu's another one, right? To get, if I don't know if Solanke's going to be back or not, right? If he's going to play for us again, but to get Solanke, Madders, and Kulu back, right, makes us a bit of a different team. That much a few steps higher, Kate, than where we are. I mean, some of the games that we've drew and lost this season, I think you've got them 3 players, you don't lose them and draw them, and it pushes you. It's not many points to get back up into the top 4, so it is important to get them players back. And it's not a matter, do they walk straight back in the team? You've got the choice, right? That if Xavi's out, right, if you want to give Xavi a rest, you've got a good replacement going in there in Madders. Right, you take Xavi out now. Who takes his place?
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
It's the same with Solanke.
Bergvall you've got there. Harry, what do you think to this question? Who is there anyone that you, or is there several that you know, if they were fit, you would put straight in?
Firstly, I'll just say that maybe I've missed something with Solanke, but I don't think there's any conversation. Again, I could have missed something there. I just think it's a player that's had surgery, should have had it earlier. He made a mistake, the club made a mistake, he's having it now and he's recovering. That's the way I view it. I get it's frustrating that he's not here, but I don't know where this is. He never played for Tottenham's come from unless there's something gone on behind the scenes. I haven't heard anything at all, so I'd be very surprised if there's anything.
The rumour mill is turning, Harry. The rumour mill is turning. You know what it's like.
Okay, he's a player that's injured. I can't imagine too much drama going on. He's not involved. I get it. He's playing every week and in the training pitch every week. That's absolutely not the case. I'd be incredibly surprised, but wouldn't rule anything out with this club or football in general. But no, Solanke's the one. It definitely comes back in. I know people go, oh, yeah, but what's he done so far? But the overall play, he was so key at Bournemouth when the system suited him, balls in the box. And it's really difficult. And it's, Jimbo's kind of hinted, I think he said it as well there, we're never going to have anyone fit. It's a complete hypothetical. And we just do it, of course, for the sake of it. And it's really interesting to know. For me, I like Maddison. I think he's a special player when he's on it. And I just listening to Monday Night Football, he's such a likeable person as well as a footballer. But Kulusevski is more consistent. He doesn't have maybe the pace or the flair. But Kulusevski, for me, is hands down one of our best players. If we look at last season when he was fit, up until Christmas, he was our best player. Then it was a case of, Bergvall and Archie Gray were our best players for the second half of the season. It's very quick to forget. He's absolutely key. He's someone who can play really well at right wing with his insane crosses, really impressive, works really well with Porro down that side, but also he looks really good in that 10. Really, really good. So I just think that it's beautiful to have all these options. Kulusevski as an 8 isn't a bad option at all. Someone like a Paulinho in the 6, if he's still got it in him, the legs do it consistently over a few games. Kulusevski in the 8, but the tough one is between Maddison and Xavi Simmons. It's really tough because, of course, ideally you have both in there, but I don't think it's beneficial. I could be wrong. Simmons isn't Eze. He's not Eze. I don't want to make the comparison, but I think there's a general thing that number 10s are just like, oh, shove him on the left-hand side. I don't know whether it'll work for him. I can't see him being influential in that position. So it's good to have a strong bench again. I mean, no disrespect to anyone on our bench today, but I look at it and go, thank goodness it's only Slavia Prague. There isn't anyone that I'd feel comfortable bringing on that can will be a free hit, put it that way. And it's great, and I understand why, yes, but you should be in a situation where you go, who's game changer? Not who's a free hit, who's going to change a game, win you a game, get you something from a game. That's the difference. So it'd be great to be in this position, but there'll always be players out. This is Tottenham, this is football. There's always going to be injuries. But Solanke would be the one, absolute. Kulusevski, I would say an absolute. It's just where he fits. And Maddison's a probably, but difficult to fit in.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we all know that the legend that is Sonny is back at the Lane tonight. Anyone that's been following Spurs YouTube today or Twitter or anywhere will see that the mural has been unveiled. Sonny has signed the mural, had his photo done with it. He is due to come and speak to the fans before the players walk out. So I would think sometime around about 7:45, 20 to 8, something like that. Jim, do you think having Sonny at the ground tonight will lift the team and not only the players, but also the fans? Because obviously he is a legend. The last time he was at the Tottenham, we was lifting and parading the trophy. He's got that aura about him. Do you think having Sonny there tonight will make a big difference to the players and the fans?
Well, first thing is, without any shadow of a doubt, a massive legend of Spurs. I thought he was a legend before the trophy. Lifting the trophy puts him there, that few steps higher on the ladder. All right, Brian.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in the chat. How are we doing?
Oh, we can hear you. Oh, good, good. I thought I couldn't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank God. Are you all good?
Yeah, good. So, yeah, I think that he's a massive legend, and of course, it's going to help him. It's going to help him massive. I'm sure he'll go in the changing room and talk to him and G him up. Yeah, it's going to help the fans as well.
Yeah,
it's going to get the fans going. I mean, how many people have I seen saying they cannot wait for this game just to see Sonny, let alone us playing football? So he will go down in history in this club, and there'll be photos of him on the wall, for years and years and years to come.
Yeah, Yeah, Harry, you had the same agreement. Do you think, Sonny will lift not only the dressing room, but the fans? It's going to give the fans a much needed lift, I think, tonight.
It will, absolutely. We never got that proper goodbye, did we, in front of stadium, the fans here inside the stadium. So I think that's really nice to see. It's a good touch. And, I don't mean this in any horrible way, just in case it's taken out of context, but I think it's coincidental that they chose, the Slavia Prague games. I reckon that they probably looked at it and went high attendance, it's going to be struggle to get fans there. Son comes in, whole different kettle of fish. So I think it's clever and strategical from the owners or whoever made the decision to bring Son in for that game. But it's absolutely right. It's great to see him. Of course, the club still do lots of things in terms of the shop and, that you can find that it's about Sonny and it's really iconic. So, yeah, it'll give the team a boost. Absolutely. It'd be good for Son to be there, and it come out recently, going to getting too much into it about news in terms of Son, that stuff was going on, maybe leading to a little bit of a decline in form and someone that looks not his best or happy at times, stuff going on off the pitch, which adds vital context. But Son being back is huge. I absolutely agree with Jimbo, a legend for the club, after in Bilbao, if he wasn't already. So yeah, absolutely a Premier League great as well as a Tottenham Hotspur legend, or Premier League icon, I'd absolutely say. So yeah, having him back is great. I mean, it'd be so Spurs, wouldn't it, to bring him on loan until the rest of the year. But no, I don't think that's why he's here. I think he's here for different purposes. So great to see him, and hopefully gives the team a lift, which we don't get wrong, we need. A couple of good results now and a couple of good performances in my view, but another big lift would be good and get hopefully a nice win and feeling comfortable and confident in the Champions League of going through.
Yeah.
If he come back on loan, right, and he had a bad second half of the season, I think it would kind of spoil his legacy. He's gone out on a high. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't do it.
Let's leave it there and remember him for that.
Brian, welcome. What do you make of the team? What do you think of Sonny coming back? Give us your views on Spurs at the minute.
First of all, I'm delighted with the team. Absolutely delighted. I do agree with you, what you were saying before, Kate, when I was listening outside, that I would have liked to have seen Ben Davies and give one of the fullbacks a bit of a rest with what's coming in for this one-off game, a home game. The squad's there to do it. But apart from that, he's gone strong. We need to win this. I'm absolutely delighted that Archie Gray's getting more minutes, because I think he was superb on Saturday. Really. And he's kept the same midfield, hasn't he? Apart from Paulinho for Bentancur, he hasn't gone for a double pivot. He looks like he's going for it. Good to see Moani on the bench, probably as a precaution, ready for Sunday. I really, really like that team. And as for people who know where I am when it comes to Thomas Frank, I'm delighted with that performance that we saw. I think finding that right midfield balance had been a major issue. And I think he found the right one Saturday. So very excited by this team that we've got out today. And Sonny's return. Listen, first of all, that Muriel, if I said that right, Muriel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I always get that with the woman's name, Muriel or Mural. Mural. That's it, Mural. There we go. It's a work of art. It's an absolute masterpiece. It really is. People have so much talent, and the lifting of the cup with the South Korean flag around his, it's incredible. And him being there, it's just to be a joyous atmosphere. We're on the back of two good results. It will be a third one tonight. And Xavi Simmons to run the show today,
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat, not moaning, but questioning, I suppose, why Bergvall hasn't got into the team tonight. Anyone think that's a mistake? Or
is he on the bench?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he had a knock.
No, he's on the bench.
All right. No, me personally, no. Look, they can bring him on if it's not going well. You've got to rotate. You have to. And for me, it's if he's in, I'm happy. If Gray's in, I'm happy. I'm just one of these people that think you can't play every single game.
Yeah. Anything, Harry, that you want to add to that about Bergvall not sort of starting?
No, listen, Bergvall's a generational talent. We know that. What a player he is, and really excited to have him, hopefully, for a long, long time. And, we worry about hopefully Tottenham isn't just a stepping stone. We can really hold on to him and retain him. That will test the ambition of the club and the owners, because if we don't keep hold of Bergvall, that's a failure on their part. And like I said before, we have to be bigger and bolder to be able to retain players like Bergvall. So the pressure on the club on that aspect. But for now, great to have him. And, at the moment, we're seeing, Benton gone great in midfield. But for me, that's what we saw in the last game. And again, don't fix something that's not broken. And Frank has openly admitted, which I didn't expect him to do, hasn't done before in his career, that he doesn't know his best 11. That's absolutely fine. There's no shame in admitting it. There is shame in, when you know that and you're not admitting it as a manager. How many managers have we had that don't know their best 11 and won't say that? So it's refreshing and transparent to hear. That's what I like about Frank. I just think that he's right about that. And that's the thing, you have to keep things the same. But I think Frank is the right manager for Tottenham to bring people together, clear divide with the fan base and with the players. He brings people together. Is he right to represent the motto of the club, to dare us to do? That's what some people will argue. I think he will be when we get players come back. I do honestly think that, Kate. I do. And I think with the lineup, of course, you want to see Bergvall in there. We've got a lot of good players. And when everyone's fit, complete hypothetical, like I said earlier, it's not going to happen. Players like Xavi Simmons, Kulusevski, Maddison, Bergvall, take your pick. Every one of them can do a superb job. So it's a good position to have in. But as much of their good things and that the owners want us to talk about them, we should also talk about where we're left short. Left wing, left back, that is just a fundamental failure that needs addressing in the window. But Bergvall, on that question, of course, I think it's the right thing to do. Hopefully, we'll see him off the bench because he's just a joy to watch. Everyone likes watching Bergvall. Just plays with flair, with confidence, and his documentary is great to watch too. So, generational player, but he's not the only one in the team, and I think the lineup is probably right. I agree with Brian. It's a really good balance tonight.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add on to that. If you look at it now, that midfield three for the first time this season against Brentford looked like it had a bit of everything. It complemented and it allowed the rest of the team, Porro, to play better, Spence to get forward. And if you look at it now, two of those three are either going to be Bentancur or Paulinho or Simmons. So there's now that one midfield slot. And I'm a firm believer if you've done well in that shirt, it's your shirt to keep and for others to get off. And Archie Gray on Saturday, I thought was outstanding. Honestly, I thought for starting off the Brentford game, a lot of people, because Spurs fans, we like to signal or find one player to go, oh my God, why you picked him? He did a fantastic job on Saturday. He is a bundle of energy. He did everything so calmly. He was up and down that pitch, and he warrants keeping the shirt for this game. He was magnificent on Saturday. So I think that you got to remember, he's only 19 years old. He's a bundle of energy. He deserves to keep that shirt at the moment, and until he doesn't, I hope he continues even on Sunday, because I think this could be a real gateway to getting some real consistency from him.
Yeah, I agree. I will just say we've got nearly 570 something likes, which is outrageously bad. So do smash a like, please, for Ben and Sim. It really helps the channel. Slavia Prague are yet to win in the Champions League. This is why I thought Van der Ven would be rested tonight and Danso get a try. Brian, obviously Van der Ven's been one of our standout performers. Do you think it's kind of important that Frank does kind of manage his minutes a bit, because we do know his hamstrings are a bit fragile?
This is why, again, against Newcastle, I was delighted to see him on the bench. Romero had a rest against Fulham because he was suspended. We have to remember we're playing like every 3 days, and there comes a time where Mickey has broken down around this time, at least once, if not twice. I thought it was great game management to give him a rest. And that man, I tell you, the great thing we've had with him this season is we're all saying that maybe have a rest, but I can't remember on more than one hand the amount of times he's had to do those last-ditch sprints to really get us. The way we're playing him, and obviously a deeper line defence, and obviously a Paulinho or Bentancur there to shield them, he's had to use his pace occasionally, but we're not asking him to do it every single game. And his timing of his tackles, and he has become. I'm so happy. I didn't actually, when Frank made him part of the leadership team, I actually thought, well, maybe that's a bit too soon. It should have been a Porro, a Bentancur. He's thriving in it, and he's a big game player. I think we have to win this game, because obviously, Dortmund's going to be no pushover, and then Frankfurt. We need 3 points today, and with that comes the need for the big guns, and that's why I think he's gone with him today.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Kate? Do you know what? You got to think, right? you got to think these are professional footballers, right? They can play 3 or 4 games, right, without any shadow of a doubt. It's when they start getting up playing 6, 7 games, that's when they start, I think, getting problems. They're professional athletes. They can play. When you think of Wimbledon, them guys go out there, the ones who get to the last 4, they go out every other day playing, right? These guys can play 3 or 4 games, without any problems whatsoever. When you think back to the old days, it used to be practically the same team, all through the season. So you got to remember, they're not made of glass. They're not sugar lumps melting the rain, So the other thing I was going to say, if you look at our squad, if you look at the players we've got injured, when they come back, we have got the basis of an excellent squad. We really have. You need to take a few out and put a few better class, more, up, better than the ones we're taking
Better
out.
quality.
Better quality, yeah. I didn't want to use like.
Well, you was going to say upper class then. I was thinking.
I don't want to put down the ones I'm thinking have got to come out, But we need to upgrade some players, right?
Yeah.
And if we do that, we have got a very, very good team. Very good team.
Yeah. Harry, how confident are you that we will progress to the next round of the Champions League? Do you think it will be a top 8 qualification, or do you think it's more likely going to be the knockout stages?
Oh, that's the big question. I think we get through either way, Kate, which I think is the priority. But of course, if we can avoid playing, extra teams, or the 2 teams in the playoffs, or a 2-legged game, I should say, then that is ideal. I think at the start, top 8 would have been a push, but just about achievable. And I still think that is. A win tonight is needed. Either way, even if we want to get through via the playoffs, Dortmund are a tough side. So, yeah, it'll be really tough, Kate. We need a lot of things to go our way, both in our games and in other games, to go through in the top 8. But I will say now that, it is doable. I don't think we do it. If I'm honest with you, I think we finish probably about 10th or 11th, which I still think is good. But I do think we go through via the playoffs. Again, you don't know who you're going to get, etc. But I do think we'll find ourselves going through. And I'll be quite bold here. I think that, Frank will succeed on the goal of competing all 3 fronts. I don't think we'll find ourselves with a trophy. I don't think maybe we'll find ourselves in the league quite where we want to be, but I think we will be able to juggle, let's say, even like the top 7 of the Premier League. I think we'll be able to juggle the FA. If we get past Villa, that's the thing. We get past Villa, then, I think we can go far, but Villa could be that obstacle. I totally understand that. Always seem to get Villa in the draw. They're a really good side, banging forms. It's hard to say we're going to get past them. In the Champions League, I think, again, this is going to be bold, but I think we can get to the quarterfinals again. A lot of things need to go our way, and that is extremely bold to say.
You can win, Harry. What are you talking about?
Exactly, yeah. I believe in my side, so we can get to the quarterfinal. So that's my prediction in terms of Champions League, which I hopefully answer your question in terms of yes. So yes, put it in black and white.
Are you the same sort of feeling, Brian, that you think we'll probably get through via the knockout stages?
Do you know what, Joe? Okay, I mean, I don't know all the fixtures, but there is a lot of them in the next 3 games where people just above us have got to play each other.
Yeah.
So we may be hindered on those results, and if there's a few draws in there and we can capitalise, we might just slip through into 8th. But I do think the playoffs are going to be the way we do it. I don't know how the playoffs work, if how high you are works out the better team you get, or however it works. But I think the playoff is more realistic. But I can see a win tonight. I can see a win against Borussia Dortmund, because we seem to have their number in the Champions League. And then it's a very, very tough game at Frankfurt and see where they are. But I do believe the playoffs is probably, as we look at it now, the most likeliest of routes. But let's hope we can sneak into that top 8.
Yeah, that would be nice. Jim, I ain't even going to ask you, because you're going to say we're going to win it. So
look, you got to think. You got to think outside the box a little bit, right? Qualify. We win the next 3 games, we qualify, right? Which we can win the next 3 games, and then it's one-off games. It's a lot of it depends on luck on the draw, right? I know they're all good teams, but if you get a bit of a decent draw, it's a one-off game. Why can't you win it? And look how we play against Paris Saint-Germain. We've played them twice. And we drew 2-2 and we lost 5-3. And that 5-3 loss for me was individual errors. Them errors don't happen, right? It's a better scoreline for us. So of course we can win the Champions League. Of course we can win it. Why can't we win it? We're in it. Fucking right, we can win it.
Jimbo has spoken. Thank you very much, Wayne. It's good to be back. No, Brian, I think he's here just till January.
Till the 29th of January. Believe me, I cannot wait to get back to Toronto with my wife. I cannot bloody wait.
I bet you miss her.
Oh, what,
And the
big time. Big time.
Yeah.
And the cats. And then when I get back, a few months later, it's the World Cup in Canada and America and Mexico. So I'm going to have a wonderful summer.
Yeah. And yes, it is. It's nearly Christmas. Not long at all now. But
I wrapped all my presents today watching Brian Daigle and Sever.
there you go.
It was out. I wrapped all my presents watching you two.
It
Oh,
is
that's
that
wonderful.
time. Yeah, it is that time of the show where we want to know what you think the score will be, who will be the goal scorers. We've got Gary Mallard saying 3-0 tonight. Keep the faith. Come on, you Spurs from, how do you say that word? To Georgia.
Blitzy.
What is it?
Oh, Georgia, yeah. To Blitzy.
Yeah, Georgia. Right, okay, Georgia. Big up to you, Gary. I love it when we've got people watching from all over the place. It's fabulous. Tottenham Fan 2025 says Tottenham 3, Slavia 1. Power Ritz Game says 1-0 Paulinho to score. Jose Eltel Cockerell is saying 4-0 to Spurs. George Alton saying huge game, 3 points needed, Spurs to win 3-1. We've got a 3-0 from Roberto. We've got a 2-1 from Zilong. I did see a Chris Peters score 3-1 from Chris Peters, 3-1 from Fudge, 3-0 from Michael. Lots of goals, lots of threes tonight. 4-0 Xavi hat trick. Oh, that'd be nice. 4-0 to Spurs. I'm loving this positivity. 3-0 Odegaard first goal. 2-0 Xavi and Gray. That'd be nice. We can win the Champions League. I like Jimbo's positivity. 3-1 to Spurs. 3-1.
Imagine getting City in the final. Of course we can win it.
4-1 bicycle kick from someone because he who knows. Harry, I'll come to you first. What do you fancy for the score today, and who do you think will be scoring the goals?
Good question. I think we will keep a clean sheet. I'll probably change my prediction to be honest throughout the week already, but I'm going to go with 3-0 Tottenham. I think Xavi Simmons will score again. I do think that. I think Odegaard will actually score as well now. You know, that's for Jimbo, that one. And I think Tel will come off the bench and score. It feels written in the stars, doesn't it? You know, left out the squad, point to prove, comes on, gets a goal. 83rd, 84th minute. I like to predict exactly. So, yeah, I think it'll be comfortable for Tottenham. Maybe I think it'll be a comfortable performance, but I think it'll be 1 or 2-0 for the majority of the game. And it's like, do we take the risk? Do we rotate? You know, do we risk? You know, do we rest players? Sorry, and I just don't know whether that risk will be taken. It'll be one of them for Tottenham, I can see. But getting 3 points is a priority. That's the thing, Kate. It's got big priorities in this game. Priority number 1 is winning. Then priority number 2, I think, is then about resting players and the privileged position to rotate. Then number 3 is about how we play and the overall performance. A lot of tick boxing that could be done tonight. Then you consider goal difference, but the priority is winning the game. However you do it, then we worry about Forest the weekend. But the priority has to be this game, and I think we win it 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, a Slavia Prague fan here says 1-1. We're solid now with a good defence. Everyone's asked me when Son's coming on. All it really says is he's coming on just before the players come out. Yeah. So I would think within the sort of 7:30 to 7:45 time, maybe. Brian, what are you fancying for tonight?
I've been saying all week, I fancy a 3-goal cushion. So I'm going either 3-0 or 4-1. I think Romero or Van der Ven will be on the score sheet. I do expect Xavi and maybe a Kudus. And if it's a 4, then I'm going to add Richie into it. I think there'll be separate goal scorers. No one grabbing a brace. But I think today we carry on the form that we showed against Brentford. And we continue this. And then the positivity around Tottenham. And most importantly, Thomas Frank's Blue Army. Thomas Frank's Blue Army. Keeps getting stronger and stronger. Like I said, the first line of defence for that man, I love him and believe he's going to take us forward in the coming years. And getting a very good win tonight will be a great way to go into the Forest game.
Yeah, absolutely. I am going for a 2-0 win. I'm always that little bit more reserved than everyone else usually. I'm going for a Richie goal and a Romero banger. Maybe another diving header from our captain. But yeah, 2-0 for me. Jimbo, what are you saying? 7-0? 4-0, right?
4-0.
Okay.
I think we're going to go out there and we're going to really, really perform tonight. After that comeback against Newcastle and the win against Brentford, I think their backs are going to be up and they're going to come out and they're going to perform. And I'm going to predict a 4-0. And
Who
I'm going to
scores?
predict Richie 2 goals
Yeah.
in the first half. And I'm hoping Xavi gets another one now. He's off the sheet. Look, and I'm going to go with an Odeberg goal.
Yay!
He scored in the last game, didn't he? He scored in the last Champions. Oh, not Paris, Copenhagen. So why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
It'd be nice for Tell to come on and get a goal. Actually, it'd be great for Matisse to come on and get a goal. Let me put that as an insurance policy in my predictions. He comes on and grabs.
Exactly. Harry, always a pleasure to have you on, my love. What's going on over at Harry Scarf at the minute? Make sure everyone goes and subs, by the way.
Firstly, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. But no, 2025 has been a good year for me as well. And like now to appoint the thumbnail and graphics team at work 24/7 and cover every point of the day, just I think shows you just how far the channel's gone. So I'm incredibly grateful for that, and to have amazing people as well behind me. So no, thank you. It's always a pleasure to come on shows like this. But if you're interested, don't worry if you don't get why you're not. But if you want to, you can follow me at Harry Scarf 22 across all socials. Football content, including Tottenham content, and some autism advocate work as well, which I think is very, very important and increasingly, believe it or not, is still, as we go into 2026, more important, I'd argue, than ever. It shouldn't be that way, but it absolutely is. Seeing someone in the comments, Dan Gay Support Services, ambassador for them, they do amazing things for young people, including young people with disabilities. So yeah, big up to them. Please do check them out. Subscribe to WeAreTottenhamTV. But in terms of my own channel, it's just Harry Scarf. It's Tottenham content, it's Premier League content, FPL. Cover every Premier League club now, actually, with news. England women, Spurs women, literally everything covered. So, but honestly, I love coming on this, and great to be on with all of you. Brian, it's been a while as well, so great to see you. Hope you
always
enjoy the game, and let's talk about Spurs win. Get behind Frank, by the way, as well. Brian's absolutely right. Get on that Frank train, because he's the man that can take his places, bring the club together, and eventually bring us sustained success. I do believe that.
Yes, I agree. So make sure you go over, sub to Harry. Brian, I saw you saying that Tottenham on Tour is coming back with a bang.
Yeah, we will be. I've just had to take a step back. I've only really been on We Are Tottenham TV, and then I was on Savers. I'm making my way steadily back after, as we know, what can happen with mental health wobbles. You need to ease yourself back in. So I'm doing that. So you'll always find me on this channel, whether it's being the insurance policy because one of the boys can't make it, or on the fan shows or whatever. But you can catch me now in the studio very soon for the watch along with Stel and the post-match fan show. But Tottenham on Tour will be back. We're probably going to be back Friday with a build-up to Notts Forest. But I'm looking forward to, saw Manny said, when am I coming back to Toronto? 29th of January, maybe a week or two earlier. But 29th of January, I can't wait to get back and do more late night Lily Whites, starting with another 17-hour deadline day extravaganza. And yeah, you'll find me here, or me and Ben, on Tottenham on Tour very, very soon. And it's wonderful to be on with you, Jim. And congratulations, Harry, for your award.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, for coming on. Always an absolute pleasure to share the screen. And make sure you look after yourself and your mental health. Not just Brian, but everyone. I took 6 weeks off. It's the best thing I did. Sometimes we need to just take a step away. But Jimbo and I are back doing content, and we're back tomorrow on Kate and Jimbo doing a members show tomorrow, getting everyone's opinions on Thomas Frank and hopefully celebrating a win tonight. But look, enjoy the game.
Just before you come off, right? 3 points tonight puts us in really in the mix for the top 8. Yep,
exactly that. So yeah, exactly. Look after your mental health without any shadow of a doubt. Health is wealth, as my gramps used to say. But join Stel and Brian in around about 13 minutes time for the watch along. Gives you time to get a cup of tea or a lager or whatever takes your fancy. But yeah, enjoy the game, people. We'll be back here, me and Jimbo, on when do we play? Is it Sunday this week? Oh no, we're not doing it. Jose's doing the pump up at the weekend because we can't make it. We're busy because my son's girlfriend's over from Romania, so we can't do it. But we'll be back after the weekend for the pump up. But yeah, make sure you sub to everyone. Enjoy the game, and as always, guys, come on, you Spurs!